the TeamClearCoat podcast. We're two friends finally doing something about our obsession with cars.
We're probably not doing it well, but it should be fun, and we might actually learn something along the way. I'm Dave.
And I'm Ian, and this is our show.
Before you start,
Just admit you have talent, you son of a bitch. I'm Dave.
I'm Ian.
This is the Team Clearcoat podcast, peaking the levels already.
I knew he was going to do that.
Ian,
Yes.
just admit you have talent.
I have a little bit of talent.
Would you agree that you have some talent, some quantity of talent,
What?
some quantity?
Yes, but I don't understand why
Do you
we
have
to talk
more
about
than zero talent
Yes, but why do we have to talk about it?
when it comes to driving?
Yes.
More than zero
Yes, but why do we have to do this every time?
is the
This-
delta between zero and your talent more than zero? Does the delta exist? Ian?
Yes, okay.
I'm Dave.
Yeah, we did this. I'm Ian.
We went karting.
We did go karting.
So we went to Unser.
We did. We went to the outdoor track.
Yeah. Our buddy Chris came down. My
Yeah.
buddy Peter came down from Vail for the race. The individual that I bought the Viggen from.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, he brought his sweet M3.
Our friends Kurt and Nolian were there.
Yeah,
it was a good turnout.
Yeah.
And we did they do an event on Thursday nights
Out in Centennial.
like every other Thursday, and they do like it's basically like a warm up, and then they do two heats,
Two
that are
10-minute heats. Yeah.
a race for position.
Yeah, instead of race for time, which is normally what you get when you go
Right.
rent. Yeah.
Right. And so they had this like cool thing where like it was kind of like like a British touring car, like their kind of thing where they do heat races and stuff.
Yeah.
And so for the last two races, you would have you would get 0 points if you won, 1 point for second, 2 points for third, and so on. And so the person with the lowest score at the end of the night was going to win.
Right.
Was the idea.
And
And I had a lot of fun. It was good.
and
I won the first heat, which has
and-
never happened. I've never ever won a race for position
right.
before, ever.
You did amazing. You were driving very well.
I drove pretty well. I didn't have I had like the third or fourth fastest time
Right.
of everyone, but I was very consistent, and I got super lucky on the start.
Right. So
Super lucky.
there's
on the start.
there's a few things about like race for position
yeah.
in that passing is a defined skill, like a definite skill, right?
Yeah. There wasn't much
There's
skill.
a magic combination of luck.
Okay, so the way they did it was they had you drew straws for the for your starting position, and then they were going to reverse that order for the second heat.
Right.
I got really lucky with this draw too, because I got 9th
Right. Which out of
17.
17, yeah.
which
so right in the
doesn't
middle.
sound like the best starting position, but I wasn't like at the back for either race.
Right.
So I was like right in the middle. And on the first heat, they dropped the flag, and I start going, and I'm right behind. I get a good start, a good pull on the guy right in front of me. And I'm pulling on him, and suddenly he like moves over to take the corner. I was on the inside line.
Right.
He moved over to get more on the racing line, and then so I passed him. Like he moved over just perfectly, right out of my way.
He just happened to get out of your way. Okay.
And there's no way he knew I was there.
Right. Right.
And then so did everybody else. So I went from 9th to 3rd by the exit of the first corner.
You know who
Or
should
3rd or 4th or something like that.
You know who should have been 3rd? The person that drew 3rd, me. And when I pressed the gas,
Just nothing happened.
all the
yeah.
carts passed me at the beginning of that race.
It felt like there was a couple of carts
Yeah.
at the front of the pack who just did not get off the line very well.
They were bogged.
Did
for
you
sure.
see me go past?
Oh yeah.
Did I just like fly past you at that point?
You, Chris, yeah.
It was and then so I was 3rd by the end of the first corner, and then in the hairpin on the first lap, Kurt dropped it. Like he spun in the hairpin.
Yeah.
Like he was first, and then there was one person so I was third, and so like second and third place, me, almost hit him.
Right.
So I just managed it. I got super lucky because I was like on a line because I was passing somebody else, I think.
Right.
Or I was battling with somebody else, that I happened to be on like a shallow defensive line going into the hairpin, and it just happened to work out that like I didn't hit Kurt because of that.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I just managed to skate through, and then all of a sudden I was in the lead, and I was like, well, there's no way this is gonna last. And I had to get defensive once or twice, but then I think just consistency just let me kind of pull away a little bit.
Yeah, so I have our results pulled up on the YouTubes here.
Yeah.
So you're first here. I roll so hard. That's your racer name there. You can see me way off in 11th place there. But your best time was a 1:15.6 for this race.
Yeah, which isn't like spectacular. It's a good time at that track.
Right.
But it's not spectacular.
Right. Yeah, we've seen people pull 113s or 112s.
Yeah, I think like the when we were there for like the Sunday race, because so none of the like crazy
right,
drivers
like the pros,
were there this week, luckily. But yeah, they're normally there. They're normally around like the one. They're well down into the 114s.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
And I've never broken 115.
Right.
And like you can see, there's like a 115.2. There's a 115.1
was in third place. Yeah.
Yeah. So like. Yeah, I think I was like I said, I think I was like the third fastest person.
Right.
But
look at your average. Your average is 1:16.7.
Well, but that's because I was my average is always going to be the best because I was
you had the least amount of traffic to deal with. And
not only that, but like it's just the average is just the total amount of time divided by
laps.
Laps. So mine is always going to be the best because I'm in the front of the pack, right?
Right. But what I'm saying is your average is about 1 second, 1 and 1/10 second off of your best lap, right? You were talking about being consistent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying.
Right. Yeah. Whereas you look at, say, like third or fourth place, third place, like best lap, 1:15.1, amazing lap. Average of 1:17, so a greater disparity, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yes, I do know how math works, Ian.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I see what you're saying.
Right, right. No, there's a really big reward in consistency.
Mm-hmm.
In like, there's a little bit of playing it safe when you're in the lead, not over driving.
I was definitely doing that. I was so babying it into all the corner because like. There's a couple of spots on the track where it's really easy to just fuck yourself over.
Spin the cart, yeah.
Like there's a hairpin where you got to do. It's really the only big braking moment on the in that configuration. And then there's a couple others where like you can really just screw yourself up. And I was so like cautious and just. Because I was just like, it's going to end at some point. I don't want it to be my fault.
Right. Yeah.
I just want it to be because someone else is faster than me.
Right. Yeah. Instead of the tennis term is an unforced error, like a racing unforced error.
Right.
Yeah.
I just didn't want. Yeah. I was just ready. I was ready for it to happen.
Right.
But I didn't want me to be the reason.
Well, there's a difference between someone else beating you and you beating yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? Yeah. So you did amazing. You won the race. As soon as you said you won, what did my buddy Chris tell you?
Fuck you.
I love Chris. He's a man of few words, but those words really matter.
Yeah, and it was appropriate.
So here's the second race. I had a better cart for this race, but the clutch was blown.
Yeah. And you still didn't do bad. I mean, for having the shitty cart that you did.
Right.
You were still, what was your best time? Like
1:19 and change.
1:19 and change. And you were mid-pack.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not bad for like a cart that doesn't move.
Yeah. So the cart would, if it fell below a certain RPM threshold, it just took forever to get back.
Bad
right?
clutch.
Yeah. And I could let it get a little bit, but routinely on the hairpin, it would bog, and then it took longer than other people's carts to recover. People would pull away from me.
That's so frustrating.
Right? Yeah. And so so that turned into a race for me where it was like, oh, I'm just going to figure out where I absolutely do not need to brake.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I'm going to carry as much speed as possible. And I learned a lot about the turn before the hairpin where there's just a tiny lift.
It's a tricky.
It is a tricky
turn.
turn. It's a little bit more than 90 degrees.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just a tiny lift, and I could actually like carry a lot of speed through there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that was a big learning race for me.
Yeah.
10 minutes of being frustrated at the acceleration, but learning. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, well, fuck it. Like, it's not going to get much worse. Right. I'm not getting first, so let's see how far I can push it.
Yeah.
So you did amazing. You did amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I was really happy with that.
And so here's race 2. Here's our fast laps.
And again, it's the first time I've ever won a race for position.
It's fantastic. You did really
motorsport.
well. You actually have talent. Yeah. So here's our best times for race 2. Your best time was 1:15.5. Mine was a 1:18.1. So I dropped way more than a second with a different kart. Right.
Yeah.
That one still had a blown clutch.
Yeah. And there's like some 150. There's a 115 down in the bottom.
Right. Oh yeah. That's their kart gave up. Yeah.
It broke.
And so it was fantastic. Here's the placement. So you got third on the second race, but overall, Ian, what happened?
So overall, I would have won. You'll notice that second through like what is that, 14th or something,
only has 7 laps, whereas first place has 8.
So they didn't allow the rest of us to finish the race.
Yeah, they accidentally stopped it early.
Yeah, we got kind of like cheated out of 1 lap. But whatever, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. And you'll see also, so my times, I was pretty quick right out of the gate. Like we had some extra, obviously it's the second heat, the tires are warm.
Right.
All that stuff. I got pretty lucky on the start again. I was like, I went from 8th to like 4th.
Okay.
On the first lap.
Yeah.
And then I got into 3rd place, and I was catching 2nd and 1st like really, really fast.
Okay.
As you can tell, I think the 1st place, like his best lap was like in the 1:16s.
Yep, 1:61.
And that's because 2nd place was really aggressive with blocking.
Okay.
It was very clean. It was a very fun, clean battle.
Right.
We only touched a couple of times.
But
he was going like super defensive with his line and stuff, but he would do like one move. He wasn't like swerving but he was placing his kart very well.
Every corner consistently defensive.
And so like it slows you down. And so we just watched first place just walk away.
Right.
And then 4th place caught up because we were battling.
Right.
And at one point, like I think in 1 lap, all 3 of us had all 3 positions at one point.
Okay.
Like it was just like this moving amorphous
like
thing.
A peloton, like shifting.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was a lot of fun.
Just a cart salad.
I really think if I had had 1 more lap, I would have gotten him.
Okay.
Because I was touching his bumper when we saw the pit.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like on the downhill. Like I was touching his bumper. I would have been around him in turn 1.
Wow. Yeah.
But
whatever. Yeah. No, it was fantastic. So, I had a much better time that time. The thing for me was I learned like where on the first lap when there's nothing but traffic, when everybody's bunched up, like you can make some huge moves if you're just a little patient and you seize the day, right?
Right.
So I knew there were going to be people that spun out on the hairpin first lap. So going into the hairpin, I just backed off and I wove through it. I still managed to hit, I can't remember. I bumped somebody, and I think my buddy Chris came around me that time.
Okay. Is that how he got past you? Because he finished right in front of you. Right?
He did. Yeah. So, we had a pretty good time. Like I kept seeing him, and then we would deal with traffic and stuff. Yeah. So it was good. Yeah. Yeah. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I want to do more.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there's one next Thursday. I want to go.
Yeah. Yeah. So listeners, if you're in Denver or you're willing to travel to Denver, come on down. We'll go Thursday. That is the 8th.
It'll be the 8th.
9th.
The 9th.
Yep.
You're right. The 9th. Yep.
8th is Wednesday. So come on down to Centennial Unser. let's register and let's go karting, man.
Yeah, unless you're really fast and then don't come.
Yeah, then it's on the 10th.
I really did enjoy winning, so I want to do it again.
Well, so here's the thing. So there were few enough people that instead of running a heavy and light category, they put us all in one. Right. So they were initially going to take everybody 175 and under and put you in your own heat.
Right.
And then 175 and over and put you in the heavy class. And you are right on the cusp.
I weigh 175.
Right. And
because
so
I'm fat.
So you wanted to be in the light class because then
I would have an excuse for not winning.
Being the heaviest of the
right. Because then if you do well, it's like, whoa, we did well, and he's like the heaviest one there.
But if you do poorly,
right.
I like that you're giving yourself an out already, Ian.
You got to have them ready. You got to have some excuses ready. Otherwise,
or you just show up and race, Ian.
That smacks of not being absurdly self-aware, and that doesn't feel right.
Ian, let's talk. Let's talk about other stuff.
Okay.
So that was karting. Everybody, you should go karting, Unser, for sure.
Or your local kart track.
Exactly. Right?
Go rental kart racing.
Exactly. Ian, we need to talk about my failures as a human being and as an automotive enthusiast.
I just want to bring up that while this next thing that we're going to talk about was going on, the texts that I was getting from Dave, were like, I really thought I was going to have to like forward him to some sort of like legit helpline,
crisis line,
like a real,
like a real one,
not ours.
So in Denver, in Colorado, here we have to test our cars for emissions.
Right.
Some counties are exempt. I learned that you don't have to do that in Vail.
Correct.
Interestingly enough, where the Viggen came from.
Convenience.
So it's time for me to test the emissions on the Viggen.
Yeah.
All right. So,
and for anyone who doesn't know, so the way that this works.
Explain this. Well, I'm going to try to pull up the picture I sent you.
So those aren't state government facilities, right? Those are like contractor facilities, right?
It's a private business. Yeah.
It's a private business.
Clean Air Colorado is the one I went to.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're set up. They are like it's almost like they're engineered
it's a pressure cooker
to give car enthusiasts heart attacks.
Yes.
Because you are not really told much about the process. You have to like get out of your car, hand it over to someone. You don't like put it on the dyno, on the rollers.
Nope.
Someone else does that for you.
Yep. And
kind of makes the decision for you about like how it's going to be put on, like which rollers it's going to go to.
Yeah.
They don't always know the intricacies of whatever random ass car you're bringing. Me.
Yeah.
I've had arguments with people there about like, cause they have the all-wheel drive ones and then the front wheel drive, and then the two-wheel drive ones.
Right. Yeah. Separate setups for two-wheel drive and all-wheel. Yep.
And I've had like arguments. I've had to like speak to managers to get them to not put my car on the two-wheel drive, both of them. And I was like, I mean, you can. It's going to launch across the room, though. It's not going to go well.
Right. You're going to have fun filling out the insurance forms.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you're put into like this little like cage, like you would put detainees at a POW camp.
That's exactly it. It's like construction trailers almost, like in the middle. Yeah, like portable trailers. Yeah.
And like you could tell the non-enthusiasts are there, like, doing work.
There's chairs.
Reading a magazine.
Yeah.
Relaxing.
There's vending machines. Yeah. And my butt never saw a chair while I was there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
And never unclenched, correct?
No. It's still puckered now.
Yeah. You can tell, and then like the people, you can always tell the car enthusiasts, the people with the modified cars, because they'll be the ones that are pacing back and forth like a sitcom dad in a hospital waiting room.
Yeah. It's like that. It made me think of that scene in Usual Suspects where they talk about how the guilty one is the one that always sleeps.
Right.
Right. You can always find that guy. Everybody else is like shit. Yeah. It's the opposite of that technically, but because I'm the guilty one for buying a Viggen in the first place.
Right.
Also, so I put a picture of it up on the YouTube. When boost kicked in second gear, it just about went flying off the rollers. I heard it go like hunk, And I was like, oh shit. I looked over and I see it like kind of settling back down. It tried to hop out of the side almost. Yeah. Like,
I love that your car can torque steer while stationary.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing.
So
never heard of such a
so
thing.
while I'm pacing, right? Previous experience with Dusty Rusty, right?
Right.
280-ish horsepower, heavily modified, head gasket done by me, right? Emissions testing. I was texting you again, right? Oh God, oh God, oh God, right?
Yeah.
Stomach cramping, right? Just imagine yourself right before a job interview. That's what you feel, right? Like, yeah. And the bathrooms are like, you have to go outside around the building. Yeah. You can't keep an eye on your car while you're pooping.
Yep.
But with Dusty Rusty, they started testing it like whoop, up, down, and then got out and moved the fan out of the way. I was like, oh, it failed. It failed instantly. It was so bad.
Right.
It failed instantly. No, it passed. It was so clean. It passed like super quick.
Huh.
They only had to do it once. Viggen, it was in there for a while.
Yeah.
How long were you getting those texts from me?
It was like 30 minutes of like stream of crisis.
The guy had like a coworker come over and
that's
was like,
never a good sign.
No, was like poking his head in, and then he went around to the passenger side, and I was like, is this guy going to get in and ride shotgun while my car is on the dyno?
Right.
Yeah.
Just so you think about this, we're IT guys.
Yeah.
We have never once called a coworker over to be like, hey, dude, check this out. Everything's working perfectly.
Exactly.
Never happened. Never happened.
Never. Did I tell the story on this podcast about when I worked for
this podcast? How many podcasts are you on?
A podcast. Our podcast. Did I tell the story about like when I worked for my previous employer and the herd of us went down to someone's desk to look over their shoulder?
No.
Somebody put a ticket in that I got, right?
Yeah.
And it said every time they replied or forwarded an email, a blank piece of paper came out of their printer. Their printer would print a page with nothing on it. And
what?
So I read this ticket aloud.
Ghosts?
Right, exactly. And everybody in the office is like, what? And so we all walk to this person's desk and we're like, okay, let's see it. And sure enough, they hit reply on an email and their printer goes, and a fucking piece of paper comes out.
Holy shit.
Right? Okay?
Holy shit. I need to figure out how to make a computer do that.
So they had been dealing with it for like weeks. And they because it's not like it's
put the paper
back.
Yeah,
that's what they were doing. They called it their paper warmer because it was just like warming the page.
What?
Right? So I have to take credit for this. I actually figured it out. My first thought about it was actually the right thing. If they opened a new email, it wouldn't do it. It only did it if they replied and forwarded.
Whoa.
In Outlook, you can set different signatures for new emails and replies and forwards. Okay?
They had like macros enabled on their email signature or something?
For some reason, they had pasted like the company logo from the website, from the intranet. And in that signature, there was something in that signature. I don't know what it was, but that signature was making it, and that signature was only set for replies and forwards because it didn't have like the big legal disclaimer, on it, right? And so that signature was the culprit. It turned off that signature and it stopped doing it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. That was one of those like serendipitous moments where like you look back and you're like, holy shit, like maybe I'm actually not horrible at my job.
Well,
yeah.
If you want to prank someone real good,
right,
or better yet, prank their IT department,
exactly,
make that shit happen.
Exactly. So, but what you're saying is, when the texts gather, it's never this is going according to plan.
Right.
This is running flawlessly.
Never.
Yeah. So when added elements start applying themselves to my vehicle, in emissions testing. So finally it came off the rollers And on top of that, they don't tell you it failed right away.
Mm-hmm.
You have to wait to get the results. You have to pay. I had to have a VIN verification, so they had to run the VIN. Thankfully, the car's not stolen, so everything was okay with that. And then you get the printout, and it says it failed.
Right.
So from then I have 10 business days to have it retested for free. It was high on the nitrous oxide emissions, which means it's technically running a little lean.
Right.
So I'm going to try the stock ECU. Also, I yelled at my friend Peter that I bought the Saab from. I didn't. I'm like, come on.
Not to get any results, just for therapy.
Yeah. So I came home, right? We'll just take this right into garage updates, right? I came home. I pulled the air filter on the Saab.
Mm-hmm.
Sharpied on the air filter was the mileage when it was put in. Ian.
I know. You sent me this picture. It's so funny.
There's almost 213,000 miles on the Saab. You know what was sharpied on the air filter, Ian? 115,000 miles, Ian. So obviously I texted Peter.
Right.
And then
your air filter is a heavily used, like, 2004 Volkswagen.
And it was a Fram.
Yeah.
What did we never do? We never put Fram in anything.
Yeah.
You might as well just, I'm surprised that company's still in business.
You should have just gotten the paper from that guy's printer and just put it in there.
You're exactly right. Yes. So Peter was very nice and very joking. I told him, I was like, well, granted, where you are, there is no air, so filtering it is kind of moot at that point. So we were talking about it back and forth, and as a little bit extra peace of mind for how he cared for the vehicle, he sent me a picture of the oil pan and the pickup screen when he pulled it at 175,000 miles.
Okay.
Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
This is before he cleaned it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
It's clean. It's like so Saabs are known for sludging, right?
Yeah.
There's absolutely no sludge in this oil pan or on the pickup screen. So I feel very good about the mechanical underpinnings of the Saab. So I'm going to try the stock ECU, retest it, new air filter. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Also, I got some mass airflow sensor spray to clean it off. So I'm going to do that. Which brings me to another topic with the Viggen. Ian, I am now a member of an exclusive club.
Okay.
Ian.
Yeah.
You and me.
Uh-huh.
Simpatico. Brothers.
Okay.
From another mother's. Ian?
Yeah.
What happens if you go to AutoZone and you try to get a control on?
Oh, yeah. I get the wrong one.
Yeah. Ian, so air filter for the Viggen is actually kind of like this big, like as big as this keyboard, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's rectangle, flat, long, right? So I go to AutoZone, looking through the thing, STP air filter, just, not Fram, right? Something, right? Oh, here's the part number. They actually have one on the shelf. It's a huge rectangle box, and it's this big cylinder filter, like I don't know, like a growler for beer.
Right. Yeah.
Like chop the top off, and that's what I was like, no. Like maybe if you rolled it up, and I kept looking at it, I was like, does this like split somewhere? No. And that was the exact part number that they had in the lookup guide for my car. So yeah. So I just went on to Taliaferro, ordered the cold air intake.
Nice.
With a filter.
Nice.
I solved that problem by spending even more money.
Welcome.
See?
Welcome.
See?
The water's fine in here. It's actually not, because we can't afford to have it heated.
And also,
we spend all our money on car
if
parts.
it goes over 96.8 degrees, we die.
Yeah.
It turns out. Right? Do you want to get into that?
We should get into that.
Yeah.
So we were talking about our cars.
Yes.
I don't remember exactly how it came up.
Yeah.
About how, we refine our cars,
right?
And we do all of these things to make them more pure.
Right. They require care and feeding.
Yeah.
I initially compared mine to a hothouse tomato.
which I think is a very good analogy.
Right? Yeah, delicate but tasty.
It is delicate because
Right.
we all these things like require sacrifices in some other area whenever you modify your car.
Yeah, yeah.
I had a different analogy. And I think it's one that we are going to have fun with.
Yeah, this was my favorite thing that we've ever talked about.
So there was a gentleman named Charles II of Spain.
Yes.
He was the last of the Habsburgs, and if
Late 1600s, early 1700s.
yeah, he died in
1700 on the nose. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So he was the last of the Habsburgs, and they were infamously obsessed with keeping their bloodline pure, which meant that they were inbreds. They were inbreds, like very severely inbred. What was the stat?
Oh, okay. So yeah. So I'm pulling up a picture of this guy.
Yeah.
But so the stat is the Habsburg dynasty has been intermarrying for so long that one of Charles' ancestors, Joanna of Castile, appears in his family tree 14 times. In fact, Charles I, his parent, his father, was more inbred than if his parents were brother and sister.
That's insane.
Right?
Crazy.
Okay.
So
yeah, I got to pull up a picture of this looker. Yeah.
So here's the quote that really kind of sealed this for me, because basically what we do when we modify our cars, we have this end goal of like this no compromises, pure experience that we're trying to get to, right?
Right.
And so we start making these sacrifices all over the place, like non-recessive genes,
right?
And
right.
And
so the oil pan hangs low.
Right. I mean, that's essentially what's going on right there with his jaw, right? He's got the Habsburg jaw. Or the Habsburg lip. So there's this quote that we found on the Wikipedia page. That's just, it could be about my car, because remember, he's still the ruler of Spain.
Right.
So he's in a position of power, and he's doing well in one very narrow respect.
Right.
However, you
read the thing, I'll mention the part of your car that it is.
He was also described as short.
Your car.
Yeah. Lame.
Lowered. Your car at altitude.
Epileptic.
Alternator workshop.
Senile. I think that is alternator workshop. That's alternator. Epileptic is the motion it makes over any bump.
True.
Completely bald before 35.
Clear coat peeling.
Yep. Always on the verge of death, but repeatedly baffling Christendom by continuing to live. That's the piece that I think is really, that could be written about my car.
Repeatedly baffling Christendom by continuing to live. We need a T-shirt with that on it with your car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so perfect.
Yeah. I love it. So we were joking that when I made the analogy of my car, my Saab being a hothouse tomato, being very delicate, you were saying that yours was like the person that the royal that was so inbred that they'd get a paper cut and they fucking bleed out.
Right. Because that's me. I hit a tiny bump that no one else thinks about.
Oil pan.
Oil. And I leave a trail of oil back to my house that's a mile long. True story.
So since we just kind of went down this Charles II rabbit hole, this is my favorite thing about it. When he died before his 39th birthday, like 5 days before his 39th birthday, November 1st, 1700, let's see here. The physician who performed his autopsy stated his body did not contain a single drop of blood. His heart was the size of a peppercorn. His lungs corroded. His intestines rotten and gangrenous. And he had a single testicle, black as coal, and his head was full of water. So he was a hydrocephalic. Yeah. Right? These are the cars we drive, Ian.
Yeah.
So we'd like to announce that should we ever form a Lemons team, it's going to be Charles II themed.
Habsburg themed.
Themed. We're going to have titles on our jerseys like Baron Sister Brother Dave and Baroness,
like Duchess, Uncle Grandfather Ian. Yeah.
Right?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I love that. That's one of the funniest. That's one of the best things we've ever come across.
Yeah. So if you have other ideas.
Yeah.
For like ways that our cars are like inbred Habsburgs.
Yeah.
Let's hear them.
Maybe the Habsburg chin is the big front lip on my Saab. Yeah. On
it
the
could
Viggen.
be.
Yeah.
I think that's my oil pan.
I think it is. It hangs low.
Just scraping along the ground.
Oh yeah, they said he drooled constantly.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. He had a massive drool secreting tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your car is fun to drive, but I mean, what is all this bullshit?
Yeah, you're a king, but
right.
Yeah. Right?
That's exactly what it is.
I love it. Ian. Let's go back upstairs to some of the other stuff we had for the show.
Back upstairs
on our Talk of Boots. Ian.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of emails. We got a bunch of voicemails. Let's start. What do you want to do? You want to start? Last week on the show, episode 151, we talked about your buddy Chris and the stuff that he sees.
Yes.
So our buddy Johnny, GTP Johnny, or Johnny TA, right? He of this wonderful Trans Am ownership fame.
Yep.
He has his own detailing company, Attention for Detail, right? So obviously, an auto detailer is going to see some stuff. As soon as he heard the show, he said, "Oh, you guys want to see some stuff? I'll show you some stuff." So he sent us these pictures. So this is the inside of a passenger car rear window.
Yeah. That
if you just gave your child a roll of stickers and let him have at it, they completely covered the inside of the window with stickers. What I think this is like, those like baby sun visors that they just gave the kid a bunch of stickers and they were like, "Fuck it, Timmy will make his own."
It's actually not a bad idea.
If the sun's too much for him, let him fix the problem.
Yeah. I mean, that is, I guess the driver's side rear passenger window in the back seat. So that's fine.
Yeah.
You don't really use that one.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Not really. So he said that this car took him 27 hours of work. So here's the interior before, all the food and stuff and stains on the seats, and Johnny's masterful work after. Look at that.
That's such a huge difference.
It's amazing. That
was a pretty gross back seat.
Yeah. You can see that front passenger seat is out, I assume, to go for reupholstering or to pop another one in.
Or just to get at stuff.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, definitely. When you're cleaning a car, you got to, like that, you got to pull the seats. Yeah. So here's a door panel before. It looks like someone threw up all over it, frankly.
Which they have children, so it's a distinct
definitely
possibility.
Did. Yeah. I bet Johnny deals with more bodily fluids than I do working at a hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not me, though.
No.
I'm just covered in bodily fluids constantly.
Yeah. Here's the after. Look at that. Wow. Amazing work, Johnny.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. You do good work, buddy. Yeah. So never, ever hesitate anyone to send us before and after pictures of what you're dealing with.
No.
Another thing Johnny sent us a little while ago that we haven't mentioned is he happened upon a Fiero that used to be that was featured in a lowride issue of Lowrider magazine.
Yeah, we forgot to talk about this.
So here's a picture from Lowrider magazine, and we do not endorse photos of this kind in any way, shape, or form.
No.
But I think if you know Lowrider magazine, you know what you're getting into. So
right.
Here it is.
It was a different time.
Yep. And they're probably still doing the same thing.
Probably.
Yeah. So lowered on Dayton's and all that stuff, hydraulics.
Yeah.
I like the crushed velvet, like engine bay liner.
It's a cool paint job and all that.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So Johnny happened to see it today. And here it is.
Whoa.
Yeah. So obviously it looks like there was some kind of small, fire. Some kind of peeling there.
Yeah, I don't think there was. There's nothing to catch fire up there.
No, there isn't. But maybe there was. Yeah, I don't know.
It is funny, like these show cars. Like what happens? What happens to these show cars?
Exactly it.
Because they don't really get driven.
Nope.
You know, so then they just,
they just kind of rot.
Rots.
Yeah. Yeah.
As
right.
soon as someone loses interest in them, that's like a death sentence.
Right. Yeah.
Also, I love that there's just like a bomb in the background, like a literal bomb.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then there's like in the first picture, there's a deuce and a half for sale.
Yeah. Here, I'll pull that up. Yeah, back in the back there. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. It makes me think of that show Pimp My Ride, like where all those cars are now.
Right.
Because one of them popped up on Craigslist a while ago. It was a Toyota Celica.
Here?
There was one that popped up here, and that was an AMC Pacer, and it was still in decent shape. But there's a Toyota Celica that was just like, completely trashed.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. But, show cars, where are they now? Right? Yeah. This is like, you want the VH1 behind the music, and then it sat parked for 75 months. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those cars are fascinating.
Right? Yeah. Because it's so much work goes into them. You know?
Right. And then nothing really, like, they don't get used as cars.
No, not one bit.
So are they still cars?
Yeah.
It's like a weird philosophical.
Right? Yeah.
question.
When does it stop becoming a car and start just being a thing that gets in the way?
Yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of things that get in the way every now and then, my buddy Mark, our friend Mark, saw a DeLorean, and he said it wasn't the Back to the Future edition, but Back to the Future edition. But personally, I like the DeLorean without the Back to the Future stuff on it. I prefer it that way. Yeah.
I mean, that's just silly when you see the Back to the Future stuff. The DeLorean is a cool shape on its own.
It's so good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the wheels are awesome.
Oh, yeah. Like the 75 spoke wheels. Yeah.
It looks tiny next to that Jeep.
It does. I love it, though. But, like, every time you see one of those, your day is a little bit better, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Everybody loves a DeLorean. That's fine. That's
yeah.
great. It's great.
Let's see. What else? We got some other stuff. Ian?
I wanted to do.
Oh, yeah. You
eyes.
got some My Eyes. Yeah. So, yeah. Here, let me pop a cough drop here.
I saw two things today that I think would strike Dave's interest. So, the first thing, I took a picture on the way over here.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to, because it's of a person. So, I don't want to show it to the camera.
Right.
I'm not going to put it on the internet. What we're going to do instead, Dave has not seen this picture. I have not told him about this at all.
Right.
I am going to describe the car I saw.
Okay.
And then I'm going to show you the picture of the person.
Okay. And you want me to guess what the person looked like?
Yes.
Okay.
So, on the way over here, I saw a black C7 Corvette.
Okay. All right.
C7 is the newest generation.
Yep.
C7 Corvette convertible Grand Sport. So, like,
okay, that's
a nice Corvette. That's not like a base level one.
No.
The Grand Sport is the one that we drove.
Yep,
just like that, with the very, very chrome wheels.
Okay. All right.
Like they said, I want chrome wheels, no extra chrome wheels.
Okay. All right.
Extra chrome wheel. Like
okay.
It doesn't.
They wanted to chrome the chrome.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. And I have to guess what kind of person was driving it.
Right. And so it looked unmodified other than the chrome wheels.
Okay. All right.
What do you have in mind?
I'm picturing an older demographic.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. I'm picturing possibly the presence of a ponytail. I'm getting a ponytail, long hair.
Okay.
Out of this, a dash of male pattern baldness, perhaps a Tommy Bahama shirt, but
it's usually a safe bet.
Yeah, but for some reason that's not quite sitting. I want to say there was an element of denim in this.
Oh.
Like I want to be like the car psychic, right? Like
yeah.
Give
me an idea what you think is on the radio.
I'm thinking that I don't want to go Jimmy Buffett. I'm going to say Steely Dan is on the radio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically Tommy Bahama top still but corduroys.
Yeah. Yes. On an 80-degree Denver day.
You're extremely wrong.
Oh, wow.
Zoom in. It keeps getting better the more you zoom in.
This is a very, I'd say this is a gentleman in their mid-30s, heavily tattooed, Rastafarian, dreads.
White guy.
White guy dreads, heavily gauged ears. Yeah. Wow.
Here's the thing: is that like you don't buy a convertible Corvette,
right?
Unless you're very serious about being the guy who has a convertible Corvette.
Right.
Like there's no like, oh, this is the car I ended up with.
Right.
Like you know what you're getting into.
Right. Nobody that's buying a Corvette that is at the dealer and the dealer's like, look, all I've got right now are convertibles. You know, you came in here wanting a hardtop. Do you just want a convertible instead? And the person's like, yeah, sure. No one says that. They either wanted the convertible or they don't exist.
Right. And at this point, everyone is aware that people think the Corvette is an old person's car.
Right.
That it's a midlife crisis car. Like there's
right.
no
Right.
There's no like, oh, I stumbled in and there's all this talk about it.
Right.
You know that.
Right.
Going into it.
The same way that you and I would not buy a WRX STI because we don't want to be seen as vape bros.
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
It was amazing to me.
Yeah.
I love when you see the mismatch.
Like
a demographic and car mismatch.
Yeah.
And you're like, huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I remember another one from a track day. We'll talk about it off air.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had one other thing.
You had another My Eyes. Yeah. You saw both of these today, huh?
Both of these today.
Okay.
So the other one does not have to do with cars, but I'll bring it back to cars.
Okay.
On the way home, cycling home. So you sold me a bicycle.
Right. After your beloved Peugeot had gotten stolen.
Right.
Yep.
And I have been riding it to work lately. And I rode it home. I rode it to work today, and I was riding home. So home is uphill from work.
Right. That's the best case scenario.
It's great.
Yeah.
And it's there's a bike path pretty much the entire way.
Right.
And it's pretty heavily trafficked with bicycles. So I passed a gentleman who is on this is a single speed bike.
Right.
That I'm on.
Yeah, I built a commuter, like one gear. Yeah, not a fixie. Let's not get ridiculous.
No, it's perfect.
Yeah, one gear, brakes. Yeah, a simple black steel frame.
And I occasionally pass people.
Yeah.
And I passed this guy today, and it filled me with like pride that I was immediately ashamed of, because he had a very nice bicycle. It looked like, in the quick glance that I got, like expensive components.
Sure.
And he was in I'm in full length jeans and a t-shirt.
Right.
And like a big backpack on. And he was in like full kit.
Right.
Full kit.
Yep.
Including the thing that made it great was that he had his shirt. I don't know. You just call shirt? Is it a bib? What do you call
your
it?
Jersey?
Jersey. The jersey was for the triple bypass.
Oh, okay, yeah,
which is
a serious rider. Yeah. It's a 120-mile sponsored bike ride with aid stations and stuff like that. Goes over 3 mountain passes, 120 miles. You do 10,000 feet of climbing.
Right.
I've done this ride. Yeah. It took me like 9 hours, and it's a legit. And you do it in one day. It's legit. And on top of that, they have a double triple bypass where you ride out there. It's from Evergreen to Avon, Colorado.
Yeah.
You ride out there one day and back the next.
Yeah.
So you have to go the hard way up Loveland Pass, and that is a tough one. Yeah, you go over Juniper Squaw, Loveland, and Vale Pass. Yeah, Juniper Squaw, they kind of roll into one pass because it's a constant climb. It's a constant climb between the two.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I did it, and I immediately felt like, oh wow, I was just the guy in like a Honda Civic who went zooming past the 911 because I thought I was cool.
Yep. Yeah, like it they always joke that like, the fastest car you see on the highway is like an 82 Buick with like a tail light out. It's just like in the left lane, just right. Well, meanwhile, the guy in the Ferrari is like patiently in the middle lane, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
I like that. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like I said, I did it,
Yeah.
and I felt the pride, and I immediately was like, oh god.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a passing adventure on the bike lane. Not this week, but the week before. I took a morning ride out to Cherry Creek, did a loop, came back. Right, like a nice little 30 miles. And I was on the way back, and I passed somebody. It took me a while to reel them in. I passed them, and then there was somebody in front of them that I just could not catch. And I was like, well, like, I'm at the end of my ride. I'm just gonna burn off everything I have left. And if I can't catch, this person was flying down the bike lane. And I was like, if I can't catch him, or if I burn out, then I can just take the granny gear home, and just I'll be fine, right?
Right.
I don't have to go another 20 miles. I only have to go like 5, right? And so I start to get them in my sights, and they're in like street clothes. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then as I approach them, they're on a fucking e-bike. And I fucking passed them. It's like, not on my watch, Mr. Roboto. Thank you very much, Mr. Roboto. Yeah, for helping me drop your ass. Yeah. So as a cyclist, you see somebody on an e-bike, you fucking drop them. Yeah. I don't care if you just burn out 10 feet after you pass
like
them.
You pass them and just immediately drop over.
Yeah.
Like right in front of them.
Yep. Nope. Yeah. Yeah, you put that robot nonsense in its place.
That's really funny.
Yeah. So, anyway. Yeah. Ian, I like that. I like you passing the guy. That's good.
Then I was like, oh. No, I'm an idiot.
Let's see. We got some more stuff to talk about, Ian.
Okay.
All right. So let's see here. Our buddy Jared sent us an FMK Cars.
Oh, let's play it. FMK Cars is a game we play on the show. It's based off the classic game of Fuck, Marry, Kill, but we play it with cars instead of people because we're nice. F means you drive it for a day. M means you marry. It's your new daily driver.
Put a ring on it.
K means you kill it. You goes to the crusher immediately.
There's no catchphrase for that. Okay, so our buddy Jared sent us this FMK Cars. He has a friend that works on VWs, and so these are some of the VWs that his friend has owned over the years. I think you're really going to like them, Ian.
I'm sure I will.
Have you looked at this? Did you look at this, Ian?
I saw the first one, and then I closed it. So.
Okay. All right. First up, we have a Scirocco.
Yes.
Ian, look at this Scirocco. Here, let's show the internet. There we go. All right.
Super cool.
Look at that. That looks great.
Enhance.
In baby blue, too.
That's cool.
I love that,
Super
right?
Cool.
All right, let me do a little tab cleanup here. All right.
Tabby cat.
Yeah. All right, so let's see here. So we have the Scirocco. We have my personal favorite, the Corrado.
Yeah.
I love the Corrado.
This is like an early 90s Corrado.
Uh-huh. Yep. And then lastly, a GTI. How does internet work? Ian, help me. Hate me, Ian. Okay, there we go.
Got it. We
GTI.
did it. Enhance.
Yeah, cool little GTI. Mark 1?
I think that's a Mark II.
Mark 2?
Pretty sure that's a Mark II.
Mark 2. Okay.
I think.
What would you do, Ian?
I think I crushed the GTI.
Okay. All right.
I think I
Let me get that Scirocco back. Yeah.
marry the Scirocco.
Okay. All right.
And then I'll drive the Corrado for a day.
Okay. What do you think you do in a Corrado for a day?
Go to Radwood.
Go to Radwood?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's that era of cars that we were talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Radwood, if you don't know, is this really cool car show that they've started doing. Like, I think they've done one in like the New York area, and then they've done one in like the Bay Area, I think. And it's all just 90s cars, like 80s and 90s cars.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You'll see a Starion, you'll see a Corrado.
Right.
Yeah.
But like also like 80s Ferraris.
Right,
and, like,
right.
So it's just like a cool themed thing, and people wear like
80s themed stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Bill and Ted's Excellent Car Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It seems pretty cool. So I would do that.
Okay, nice. I would marry the Corrado. That's the first car I ever test drove as a youth. And I think for a day I would drive the Scirocco, and then I think I would kill the GTI.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as cool as the GTI is on this, I think it loses out to the Scirocco and
The coupes.
Am I saying Scirocco correctly?
You are.
Okay, cool. I was worried about that.
You're good.
And the am I saying Corrado correctly?
I believe so,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
The what would you do in the Scirocco for a day?
You know, I think I would.
Because that's a Gen 1 Scirocco. That's a
Yeah.
right.
I think what I would do is I would drive around and I would find all of my teachers from school over all the years. I would plot a course and I would drive to all their houses.
Murder them.
No, and I would say Severnuk, Scirocco, Severnuk. So my last name's very hard to pronounce if you're just reading it on paper sometimes. And first day of school, it was always like David Siva, and I just go here. I'm here. That's what I would do. You?
Okay. Not that you're still bothered about it there.
Nope.
No issues here.
Whatsoever.
None at all.
Ian.
Dave. All right, what else do we got?
We have some more FMK cars, so let's play 2 more FMK cars. So
okay. We're at about 55 minutes.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I think we're doing well here.
Great.
Because we still want to talk a little bit about F1 and and play some voicemails. So,
Okay.
yeah. So, our buddy Kelly that is listening to the show at an unmanageable pace. Hello, Kelly. Sent us some pictures that he took of cars while he was in Kuwait. So these are some cars that I plucked out of his image galleries from Kuwait.
Okay.
And so here we go. So first up, you see some crazy stuff over there.
It's true.
First up, this Toyota Supra. Ian, it's a Toyota Supra with some big ass like Mickey Thompson drag radials on the back.
Yeah.
And a parachute pouch.
That's awesome.
There's always the saying, if it has a pouch, it's no slouch.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about Kuwait is that the road quality there is amazing.
Okay.
And so like pretty much every street is actually just could be a drag strip.
Okay.
Like, and because they're all super wide, super flat.
Sure.
It's the desert. You're gonna you might hit a camel, which would ruin your day.
Oh yeah.
But there's definitely room to run those things out there.
Okay.
And very lax enforcement of traffic laws.
So
they are.
You have a drag Supra.
Yeah.
Okay. Second, Ian, you have this oddly colored BMW. I'm gonna go 328.
Yeah.
In
25 maybe.
Yeah, in an odd tealish color.
I don't hate that.
No,
I don't hate that color at all.
Yeah. The black wheels are the right wheels for that.
Yeah, I mean it's teal and sand.
Yeah.
It looks like it's
dusty.
dirty.
Yeah. And then lastly, Ian, here is some Nissan Skylines, but you don't get the Skyline. You get this sweet little Suzuki in the background.
Oh, this has been in FMK cars.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey,
Yep.
can you scroll over? Is this a GTR?
Yes,
it is GTR,
that is
okay.
GTR.
I wasn't sure. I thought maybe
As is that one.
it would be like a GTS.
Oh, okay.
Those things which
Yeah.
are kind of weird and cool.
Yeah.
So that's it's a Suzuki van of some sort.
Yeah. Tiny little Suzuki van.
Okay.
Because the Skyline is a small car. So the fact that van is there, like, that is a small little van.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So you have the small van, the teal BMW, or the drag strip Supra, and you have to drive all of these in Denver.
Right. I think the answer is I'm going to crush the BMW.
Okay. All right. The most pedestrian of the choices.
I'm going to marry the Suzuki.
Marry the little Suzuki truck. Okay.
And then I'm going to drive the Supra for a day, obviously, and I'm just going to open the parachute and just drive around with the parachute open.
It'll be like your car kite.
Yeah.
Why is my dad...
I will get -4 miles to the gallon.
You beat me to it. I like that.
Air-assisted burnouts.
When I first saw this, I thought it was like an off-road Toyota Supra, which would be amazing.
That'd be cool.
Right?
What would you do?
I think you made the right choice. I think I would marry that fun-looking little Suzuki.
Yeah.
And then I for a day, you have to drive the Supra. Right? Yeah, the drag Supra.
Yeah, you could tell like they took the front bumper off probably to fit
a
some
huge
absurdly
intercooler.
huge. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Right?
That's probably it's probably like an RB making or Wait, what's the engine code from the Supra?
2JZ.
2J's shit.
Yeah,
2J.
that's okay.
I almost had my enthusiast card revoked.
Actually, no, there were Skylines in the other picture,
Right,
so
yeah.
that's okay.
So yeah, the 2JZ is probably doing like 1,500 horsepower. Or
Probably.
something stupid.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
That's cool though.
Yeah. I would imagine that has NOS.
NOS.
NOS, bro.
It has NOS.
So thank you, Kelly, for sending those in.
Like the kids do.
Yeah.
Well, so you would do the same thing.
Oh, absolutely.
And what would you do for a day with a drag Supra?
With a drag Supra in Denver?
Yeah.
I think you're onto something. I think having the parachute out is mandatory. I think I would replace it with like some kind of insane kite. And yeah,
I think the question is maybe the question isn't.
I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
We're running a bootleg illegal parasailing company. I'm going to strap your dumb ass to the parachute, and I'm just going to fucking take off. Yep.
That's amazing.
I might get you in the air.
I was going to say
that landing's going to be a little rough.
Yeah. I was going to say that it's not really so much of a question of whether or not you have the parachute out as much as it is what message you're going to write on the parachute
while
you're driving around.
Yep.
But I like your idea better. That's a good idea.
Yeah, bootleg parasailing. There's no way that could go wrong.
No. It'll be easy to insure.
Yeah, exactly. Great
idea.
Let's see. I think we'll save Donnie's FMK cars for the next show.
Yes.
And let's play some voicemails. So
Okay.
our good buddy Henry sent us.
What's the phone number if someone wants to leave us a voicemail?
I'm glad you asked that, Ian.
Aren't you?
Ian, the phone number to call our hotline, which I've now called this segment Hotline Ding, after the Drake song,
No,
Hotline Bling.
absolutely not.
It is Hotline Ding.
I don't veto much on this show. Absolutely fucking not.
Why not?
That song is terrible.
You could call me on your cell phone. Yeah. 720-515-1391. Hotline Ding.
No.
That's the TeamClearCoat Automotive Enthusiast Crisis Line. You see something. You're perplexed by something. You see a Pastafarian, Trustafarian.
I'm scared and confused by this car in front of me.
Right.
I need immediate help. Well, we're not going to help you immediately. We will play the thing at a later date, maybe, possibly.
Hopefully. Right. Or, inverse, you see something amazing and it makes you really happy.
Yes.
You call it.
Correct.
720-515-1391. All right, let's listen to Henry's first voicemail.
Hi, this is Henry again. I have two things today. First of all, just on the highway right now, I saw a Polaris Slingshot, an orange one, just driving on the highway. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't really know how I feel about them. I mean, they're cool, I guess. But anyway, that was interesting. And then second of all, I have an FMK cars for you. So this is cars that you might get if you can't afford an M3. So budget M3 sort of cars. So the list is as follows. It's the Kia Stinger GT, the Buick Regal GS, the new one with the V6, or the old one, but probably the new one, and then the Infiniti Q50 Red Sport 400. I don't know if you've heard of that one, but it's a Q50 with a 400 horsepower twin turbo V6. So FMK. Anyway, that's all. Enjoy. Love you guys. See ya.
Thank you, Henry.
Thanks, Henry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So first off, let's tackle this Polaris Slingshot thing. So Henry didn't.
We're going to do something really quick.
Yeah.
We're not going to explain it.
No.
But just trust us. The best.
The best number two.
Best
the
number
best
two.
number two.
The best number two.
So
don't worry about it, guys.
So the Polaris Slingshot. Henry didn't know how to feel about it.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to feel about it either.
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Henry, call back Ian. Call back. Ian's going to tell us how to feel about it.
Okay. All three-wheel vehicles
Uh-huh.
with the
exception
emphatic,
of a Reliant Robin.
No. The emphatic exception of the Morgan three-wheeler
okay. All right.
are the recumbent bicycles of
the automotive community. You're exactly right.
They are only cool for the people who have like slide rule collections. If you're too young to know what a slide rule is, it's like pre-calculator shit, like abacus shit.
Right.
Somewhere between abacus and calculator exists the slide rule.
You're exactly right.
So yeah, it's absurdly dorky.
Right.
Is the answer.
Yeah. If oh man, if you had one, like if you had access to one, would you drive it beyond a drive to just a drive where you make the assessment? Yeah, this is exactly what I thought it was.
I mean, it's the thing about it is that like it's essentially as showy and like over the top looking as like a Lamborghini.
You're exactly right.
Or something like that
for like 1/20th of the cost.
Yes,
yeah.
but not capable.
Right.
Right? Like not nearly capable enough. And it's like at this point just buy a motorcycle. Just buy a motorcycle.
Right.
Or a Miata.
Right.
Buy a Miata or a motorcycle. One of the two.
Right.
Don't do both and do neither properly.
There you go. When you try to do everything, you do nothing well.
Correct.
Right.
And that's what this tries to do. So that's what I would say.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm with you.
It's a recumbent bicycle. It's like so dorky.
It is.
But it's so cool because it's more efficient but nobody cares.
Right.
It's dorky.
Now, if somebody made like an actual 3-wheel commuter vehicle with an enclosed cockpit and didn't have like a styling that looks like a Transformer face fucked it, like would you have a different opinion about that?
No, because all of those 3-wheel vehicles that have ever existed have existed to take advantage of homologation rules, like
right.
Of rules of like how you get on the road.
Right.
So like either licensing, like there's reduced
emissions, yeah.
Well,
something.
Not even for. I think it's all for reduced licensing because they're
Right.
classified in some countries as motorcycles. Like
Right.
that was the thing with the Reliant Robin, right?
Right. You didn't have to have a driver's license to drive it.
Right.
Which is hilarious because it's more difficult to drive than a car and a motorcycle.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
So no, there's no actual real reason other than invented ones
Right.
to have a 3-wheel vehicle.
So why does the Morgan 3-wheeler get a pass?
The Morgan 3-wheeler gets a pass because it's so bad it's like good again.
Okay, it comes around.
And it's ridiculous. Like
Right.
it's silly.
Right.
Like that is trying to look aggressive and
Right.
sporty
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg.
Exactly. Like you know who would Kenny fucking Powers
Yes.
would drive one of those.
Absolutely. He would get off of his jet ski.
Right.
And he would tow his jet ski with a Polaris slingshot.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Whereas the Morgan 3-wheeler is so absurd.
Right.
And weird. Like it's got the engine on the outside. It doesn't try to look.
It's very vintage.
It doesn't try to look like aggressive or sporty. It's got like tires that are like this wide, like bicycle
pizza
tires.
cutters. Yeah.
So it's not this sort of pretentious.
Right.
With nothing to back it up.
It's a different vector. It's a different direction for a vehicle like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that gets a pass. And, where like 3-wheel, like tricycle Harleys are like also very, because at this point, Harleys are extraordinarily uncool already.
True.
And then you're going to get a 3-wheeler one.
Whenever you see a group of bikers, there's almost always one tricycle in there.
And that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Because you know what I always think about when I see that?
What's that?
Do you remember in Jumanji?
No, haven't seen it.
The first one, the original, the Robin Williams one?
I didn't see it.
Oh, okay. So there was this running gag in Jumanji which I can't believe you haven't seen Jumanji. That's crazy. It's a weird blind spot. So there's this running gag after all the animals come out of the game.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
A sight gag where there's this huge stampede of animals, and then there's one fat rhino like 5 seconds after. I think about that rhinoceros every single time I see a group of riders and one tricycle, one trike.
Yep,
it's the best. I love it.
It makes me think of when I would take Gunther, my Basset, to the dog park, and he'd get in a pack of dogs, and they would start to run, and they would run, and Gunther's trying to keep up, and the distance just keeps getting greater and greater until like there's a point where he just starts going. Rawr, rawr, rawr.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Yep. Yeah. So we fixed it for you. How you should feel about the Polaris slingshot. Did we get it right or wrong? Henry, give us a call. Let us know.
Spoiler alert, we're right.
Okay, so Henry's FMK, Kia Stinger GT.
Yeah, Buick Regal GS, Infinity
and
Q50.
The Infinity Q50 Red Sport.
Right.
Yes, rich sport.
You go first this time.
I'm killing the Infinity. As an Infinity owner, I am very frustrated with current state Infinity.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. Yeah, their infotainment, their interior build quality, subpar. Infinity, that, I see that now as like the poser luxury sport vehicle. When you just care more about the way it looks than everything else about the car, that kind of person buys a new Infinity.
Wow. More so than like a Mercedes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I think so.
Interesting.
When it comes to a sporty
the
car.
sport version.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not like the SUVs and stuff. That's
okay.
its whole other thing, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a whole other circle of hell.
Interesting.
So I'm killing the Infinity.
Okay.
I am effing the Kia Stinger GT. And then I'm marrying the Buick Regal GS.
Really?
More than likely, in the not too distant future, I'll probably own a Buick Regal GS, and I will almost certainly own its sister vehicle, the last generation Saab 9.5.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm with you on the Infinity thing. That's why I asked you to go first.
Okay. Yeah. No. You can't shit talk current state Infinity too much.
Right.
It's like if you look at my car from the mid 2000s, it's so great.
Yeah.
It's so great for the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they took such a dive, man.
Yeah. So I would do that, but I would marry the Kia.
You would marry the Kia Stinger. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because rear wheel drive.
Right.
Versus front wheel drive.
Yep.
That's my entire reasoning.
Yeah.
And also, I don't love the styling of the Buick. The Buick is frustrating because I'm very interested in the wagon.
Right. And the entire package. It comes together to make a compelling package and price point.
Yes, and even the hatchback or the what do they call it? The Sportback.
Yep.
Is kind of like a big 9.3.
Yeah, it's exactly
like a big 900.
Yeah, it's exactly a Saab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's so much fake chrome, and the interior is so like just
general GM.
I don't know, but the Buick has this weird. It's vulgar, is what it is. Vulgar, cheap, trying to look not cheap. And it ends up looking extra cheap because of it.
Right. And not like crazy vulgar, just a disappointing amount of vulgar.
Yeah.
Right? We're not mad. We're just disappointed.
Exactly.
We're the parents that came home and found out you did have a party while we were gone. Buick? What are you thinking, Buick?
You were so close.
You get good grades. You're not that kind of kid.
I know. We've never found anything. We go through your room regularly. We've never found anything.
In fact, we gave you a joint so you'd be more exciting. No, the standing Dave owning a Buick rule would be if I had one, all of the chrome would get blacked out.
Yeah, you
day one.
Dechrome
day one. Yeah. I don't care if I vinyl wrap it, plasti it, whatever. Yeah. Dechrome day one. Yeah.
They should just have Buick dealerships.
Yeah.
Should just keep someone on staff
Me.
with vinyl wrap.
Yeah, they should just hire me to dechrome.
And there's just a checkbox on the order form that says, like, I'm not 75.
It's just,
just automatically the guy comes out and just
right.
just rattle cans it for you.
Yeah. There's on the order form it's just Dave ?
Right.
Check. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dechrome.
Yep. Yeah.
I like that. That was good FMK cars.
That is. So Henry left us another voicemail. I'll go ahead and play that now.
Hi, this is Henry again. So I am driving right now, and what I just saw was, frankly, incredible. So it's a Mustang convertible. It's the previous generation of Mustang. It is painted bright lime green with black striping, the way that some Mustang owners are wont to do with their cars. And on the side, where you might expect to see the 5.0 Coyote motor badge that a lot of Mustangs have. Instead, it has a badge that reads 3.7, which I'm guessing indicates that it got the V6. So I don't think they came with that. Usually Mustangs that aren't V6 Mustangs don't really do any kind of advertising that they're V6s. So my guess is that the owner of this Mustang put a badge that looks like the 5.0 badge on his V6 Mustang, but that instead says 3.7. So he's advertising the fact that his Mustang is a V6, the way that Ford doesn't. Ford, with every V6 Mustang that they've ever made, they just say Mustang. All of the badging is Mustang.
Right.
So that, people don't realize it's just a V6. But this guy is super proud of his V6 Mustang, and I just thought you should know about that. All right.
I think the timer cut him off there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Let me see if I can get this link over into the web browser.
So
here.
Kelly's exactly right. 3.7 was the displacement for
the V6.
The V6, which is gone. Gone, but not missed. And I immediately started Googling, and you can find 3.7 logos for sale. I've never seen one in the wild, but
nope.
There you go. American Muscle has that for sale, and you can do that to your Mustang. I think so. Here's what I think. I think if you do that to your car,
right, you're advertising average.
I think that is the rare case, and I didn't think this was possible,
right,
of a Mustang owner understanding irony.
Okay, all right.
Like they're making fun of the only reason you do that is to make fun of yourself.
Right.
And Mustang owners and irony are not normally seen as friends. Postmodernism,
right,
doesn't really. You don't see a lot of Mustang owners talking about postmodernism as they're mowing down Cars and Coffee attendees. That's usually not what happens. But I like that. I endorse. I think that's good.
Yeah.
Actually, the 3.7 badge is good.
So this is if we ever needed the opposite of a car stanza, this is exactly it, right? This is the
Well, no one on Seinfeld.
Yeah, no one on Seinfeld because they're all sociopaths, but I don't know, this is the Ruth Bader Ginsburgering of a vehicle. Brutal, upfront honesty and attention to detail in an unrelenting manner. There's no reason. I don't who is insanely honest, and this is almost I think it's more just overwhelming humility and self-deprecation. No, I don't think it's humility, because they went out of their way to put the badge on the car, but there's absolutely no reason that they would put a 5.0 badge on it, right?
Right.
Unless they're down badging it.
Oh, what if it is a V8?
Right.
That's just ridiculous.
Right, and they put the 3.7 on it, right?
As a joke.
Yeah. So there's that scenario. It could be down badged.
I think it's the equivalent of the 13.1 stickers and all that, and you see the people who have the 0.0 stickers.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's the same thing. Making fun of yourself.
This is
I get that.
It's like just wearing a T-shirt that says like perfectly average penis, like like average intelligence, like advertising an average, like
right, exactly.
And also, I love this kind of stuff on some websites where you choose the generation of your car if this sticker will fit it.
Nope. Turns out nope.
Yeah,
this sticker won't fit.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'm wondering if it was down badged. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Henry, thank you for calling in. We appreciate you calling into the hotline.
Which is
720-515-1391. Hotline ding.
No. Stop with that. No.
I actually snuck that into one of our episode titles and one of our YouTube thumbnails.
No.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's what you get.
I didn't put that together. I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Drake.
Yeah. No, I'm
the worst.
I'm not a Drake fan. Yeah.
Okay. What else do we got?
You tell me. What else do we got? We have some.
Do we have one more voicemail?
No more voicemails.
No more voicemails. I think we're good. I think we did it.
Well, we do have Fantasy F1 to discuss real quick.
Oh, Fantasy Formula 1.
And our good buddy Nick Lindy.
Yes.
He's learning some back-end web development, some programming. He wrote an application. Yeah. Follow Radmobile Gaming, and wrote an application to tell whether or not I won Fantasy F1 or you won.
Yeah.
And and I guess if you win, like whiskey comes dripping out of the CD drive, and if I win, then just your Amazon cart just fills up with taffy.
Which sounds great.
Yeah. So thank you, Nick. Yeah.
And you print one blank piece of paper.
Yeah.
Nobody knows why.
Yeah. That's my absolute favorite IT problem I've ever come across.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
The paper warmer. Yeah. Right?
Who would have ever thought of that?
Right?
It's insane.
Yeah.
Yes. So check out our Twitter feed for that because we retweeted that.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny, especially if you know programming at all. Other than that, did we do car show?
We did, but I almost beat you at Fantasy F1 this week.
Oh, Fantasy F1.
Yeah, Ian.
You did almost beat me. It was close.
So
I'm gonna pull it up on my phone so I can look at it.
I have it. I pasted it in the thingy.
Oh.
So I had 138 points.
Okay.
You had 145. I had picked Vettel to come in first and Hamilton to come in second.
Oh, wow.
I was figuring Vettel would have a vengeance race. Right?
Okay.
No, Hamilton won from pole. Right? See, look how much F1 I know. Ian, I know Hamilton won from pole.
Why do you know that about that race? I didn't think that wasn't an especially great race.
I know things. No, of course it wasn't a great race. I didn't watch it.
It was crazy. Like it did.
Stop using crazy to describe every F1 race. They're not all crazy.
I was going to say there was a part that was crazy. There was a section that was crazy at the end.
What happened?
Valtteri Bottas just started crashing into people.
All right, that's crazy.
So his tires he was like really deep into his stint.
Okay.
And his tires were gone.
Okay.
So Vettel tried to pass him, and he was almost all the way past him,
right,
and kind of cut Bottas off a little bit. And if his tires were fine, he would have avoided it, no problem.
Right.
But instead, he just locked up and just like smashed into him, and somehow both cars were like okay. Like,
oh wow,
his
it was like tire to tire contact or something.
No, he broke his front wing off on Vettel's tire, and somehow Valtteri's like his he kept going, and Vettel didn't have a puncture or anything. So then, like a few laps later, Daniel Ricciardo catches Bottas because his tires are gone again.
Okay.
And the ESPN has the Sky F1 coverage now, and Sky F1 has had this thing where they interview Christian Horner, who's he's the head of the Red Bull team.
Okay.
So they interview him during the race while he's on the pit wall.
Oh wow.
Running the team.
Yeah.
And so they were doing this scheduled interview with him while Ricardo is getting ready to pass
Okay.
Bottas. And so Bottas moves over to the inside to protect the line.
Right.
And Ricardo starts to move to the outside, and as this is happening, they're all watching it together. And
Right.
Christian Horner goes, "Oh, he's gonna, Valerie's making him go around the long way on the outside. I hope his broken wing doesn't make him under." And before he can even finish saying understeer, he just smashes into Ricardo, like right in the middle, like breaks Ricardo's floor.
Oh wow.
On the car and everything, and then he just starts swearing and then end transmission.
Boop. Yeah.
It was awesome.
We're experiencing technical difficulties.
It was really funny.
Cut to the slide of like the janitor with all the wires all over him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
It was pretty funny.
Nice. Yeah. So I thought about F1. I almost beat you, Ian. I
You
almost
did. You
beat
got close.
Yeah. I came in fourth.
You did come in fourth.
See what happens when I apply myself?
I know.
When you make sacrifices and you pick people for a team that say shitty things about Grid Girls going away?
I know. Which is pretty much the entire F1 field. It's either no comment or...
Right, exactly. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it. Ian, I think that's it. Did we do car show?
We done did car show.
Let's check in with the chat. Let's see if anybody chatted at
Oh, right.
us.
Oh, and
Yeah.
actually, so Lauren, our good friend Lauren, sent us some content for next time. We will get to it next time. Sorry.
Okay.
Lauren. I just now looked at the chat.
Oh, sure.
And,
I like her hashtag TCC girl. Yeah.
No.
Yes. Yeah.
No.
Ian.
And then Kelly said, live stream.
That is it.
Live stream.
Thank you, Kelly.
Yes. I think we done did car show.
We
this
did.
was long.
This
was an hour and a half.
720-515-1391.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
TeamClearCoat.com.
Yep. Donnie will play your FMK cars next show.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, if there's other stuff that you want to send us, teamclearcoat@gmail.com.
Yep.
We're on the social medias.
Yeah, tweet at us.
We're on the iTunes.
Yep.
We're on the YouTube.
Yep, subscribe to us. All the places.
Do it.
Yeah, that's what we'd like you to do. Ian, thank you
Please.
for doing car show with me.
Thank you for having me over to do car show.
I'm sorry I had a cold.
I love car show.
Go pop another Zycam so you don't get sick.
Family love Michael.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
We love you.